In today's video at Hex and Hush, we're sharing a scary story. So if you're scared of this kind of stuff, you can click off now. But for those who dare continue, here's a strange tale that has many wondering about the depths of human darkness. This is the story of June and Jennifer Gibbons. We'll start with a little backstory. In 1963, identical twin girls were born in Haverfordwest, Pembrokeshire, Wales. They were named June and Jennifer Gibbons. From the time they could think, the twins were inseparable. They did everything together and seemed to have an inexplicable connection. But as they grew older, something unusual became clear. The twins refused to speak to anyone except each other. They only communicated in a private language and never revealed what they said to each other. What's most disturbing is that they also mimicked each other's moves perfectly. This was unnatural. It wasn't just that they shared clothes and liked the same things. They acted in unison, like one person with two bodies. It was as if they had a supernatural bond, which is creepy when you think about it. They both liked reading horror comics and books, which seems to have fueled their imagination. At age 13, they began writing disturbing fiction about death, control, and demonic possession. When asked about this, they just smile and say they enjoyed making people squirm. But there was more to their stories than just thrills. The twins were obsessed with their special bond and saw it as a curse. They read about being trapped forever in a single body. This makes sense because they spent almost all their waking hours together. They couldn't imagine life separately and felt suffocated by their connection. They wanted to break free, but didn't know how. Then strange things began to happen around them. Objects moved, lights flickered, and whispers echoed when no one was there. They started hearing voices telling them to let go and be free. They took these messages to heart and became convinced they needed to do something drastic to survive. Soon, they would turn to crime, specifically vandalism, arson, and theft. They didn't hurt people, but they caused a lot of damage. And when the authorities caught up to them, they confessed without hesitation. They were arrested and sent to Broadmoor Hospital, one of the UK's most secure psychiatric facilities. Now, you might be asking why such a young girl would be sent to a place like that. Well, it's not your typical youth prison. Patients there have committed crimes but are mentally unwell and need treatment. Think Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. That's the kind of patient Broadmoor handles. The twins were kept locked up for 12 years. They were diagnosed as deeply disturbed and recommended to stay indefinitely. But even behind bars, their bond only grew stronger. They believed that one must die for the other to live. And when they were released at age 27, they were still as close as ever. To make matters worse, once out in the world again, they struggled to adapt. After being confined to a small room for so long, they were overwhelmed by everything. Noise, crowds, and bright lights bothered them, so they stayed in their room most days. Jennifer didn't like leaving their home at all. She was afraid of dying, perhaps because she'd spent so much of her life attached to her sister. She was terrified to be alone. A journalist named Marjorie Wallace interviewed them and was shocked by what she heard. She said the twins viewed each other as their sole purpose in life. They talked about how they couldn't imagine existing without each other and how their bond went beyond anything earthly. They were so intense that Ms. Wallace worried they might harm themselves or others. She didn't think they were dangerous, but something about their devotion frightened her. As their fame grew, the twins reached out to Ms. Wallace to tell them about an upcoming plan. Jennifer told her, "I'm going to die. We've made a decision." But when she asked how Jennifer planned to do this, she didn't answer. Maybe she thought her way would become clearer in time. Whatever the reason, she never shared it. Afterward, Miss Wallace continued to check up on the sisters. She hoped they wouldn't carry out whatever plans they discussed, but she couldn't help worrying. Then one day, she got a call that changed everything. Jennifer Gibbons was dead. The official cause of death was sudden heart inflammation. Nobody knew it could kill her. Doctors were puzzled. Ms. Wallace suspected foul play, but police found no evidence of murder. The twins' mother was devastated but not surprised. She always knew something like this would happen. She felt like her daughters were possessed by evil and couldn't understand why they didn't try to live separate lives. The news spread quickly and everyone wondered how Jennifer died. Some said it was a miracle she finally broke free from her sister's clutches. Others thought it was tragic, but necessary. After all, Jennifer had planned to die. It was only a matter of time. When June learned of her sister's death, she reacted strangely. She stopped crying and laughed hysterically. People assumed she was happy to be free, but maybe she was just confused. Something snapped inside her and she changed dramatically. The quiet, shy girl was gone, replaced by someone new. She began talking, making friends, and living independently. She showed no signs of depression or other illnesses. It was as if Jennifer's death cured her, but nobody understood why. And that's where the story ends. It's unclear if June's personality change was due to grief or something else. Maybe being connected to her sister was holding her back, and only Jennifer's passing allowed her true self to emerge. Or maybe it was the other way around. We'll never know. Some believe the twins' bond was supernatural, and their story has been called one of the strangest ever recorded. There are theories that they suffered from folie à deux, which causes two people in a close relationship to develop similar symptoms and even hallucinations. But there's no solid explanation for what happened to the twins. What do you think? Was there a darker force at work, or was it just two troubled girls who became obsessed with each other? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you enjoyed it, you might like our other videos too. Hex and Hush brings you the creepiest cryptids, terrifying true stories, and weird news not covered elsewhere. We read here every week to get you all caught up on the strange things happening in our world and beyond. Thanks for watching.